This is Indrajit Ganguly, and today I am going to discuss the fourth topic from the second chapter of history, the collectivization program. Remember students, the period of early planned economy linked to disasters of collectivization of agriculture. I have already discussed with you during the time of Lenin. He introduced the new economic policy, and that showed development in Russia. There was a development in agricultural sector, there was a development in industrial sector too, and also there was a development in education, hospitalization, sanitation, everything, in every sector. So we can say that Lenin was a good president for Russia. After the death of Lenin, Joseph Stalin became the new party president and also the new head of the Soviet Russia. And during his time, he introduced the policy of collectivization, and these policy of collectivization have a severe impact, have a disastrous impact on the population of Russia. What was the impact on it, and what was the context behind to organize, to launch the collectivization program? That I will discuss you one by one. Okay, just look on the context of the collectivization program. In 1927 and 28, there was an acute shortage of grain supplies in Soviet towns. Peasantry refused to sell grains on prescribed rates. Generally, the government of Russia, they prescribe the rates for the supplying or for the selling of the grains. But the peasantry, they are also, I think you know that the peasantry are the now became the owner of the land, because just as the strategy of the Lenin April thesis, peasantry get back to the land after the Russian Revolution, and now peasantry became the owner of the land. So peasantry decided the own price rates, and they did not wanted to sell their product at the government price, because whenever they sell their products at the government rate, it will be no benefit, it will be no profit for them. So party president Stalin believed that the rich peasants, which are regarded as kulaks in Russia, remember it is very important to know about these peasants, the rich peasants in Russia, they are known as kulaks. The rich peasants in Russia hold the stocks in hope for higher prices. Basically, this is a thing during the time when there is a huge production. Basically, rich peasantry hold the stock, and during the crisis time, these stocks generally cleared by these peasantry, and this procedure is called black marketing. So Stalin is also assuming these things, and he believed that rich peasantry also doing these things. So therefore, Joseph Stalin, the party president Joseph Stalin, introduced the collectivization program. The basic feature of the collectivization program was that Stalin wanted to develop modern farms in Soviet Russia. The modern farms mean with modern techniques and modern machineries, which would provide and which would give large agricultural outputs. The initiative was very good, the initiative was very important at that time, because Russia needed to produce more, not only for the domestic purposes, but also for to export the grains and the agricultural products into the different parts of the country. Okay. Also, Stalin wanted to establish state-controlled large farms. The state-controlled large farms in Russian languages is known as kolkhoz, which means that all the lands of Russia would be collected by the Russian government, that is the Communist Party of Russia, and all the peasants should cultivate on that land, and all these collected land is generally known as collective farms and kolkhoz. So the meaning is that peasantry would cultivate in the land, and they usually get monthly salary, or whatever we can say, whatever the outputs from these land, the profit will be shared among the peasantry. Clear? And the peasantry has to sell the grains to the government. So this is the basic concept of Stalin to organize the collectivization program. But the problem is that collectivization program was not being successful because peasantry did not want any such dominance of the Communist Party. So enraged peasants, they revolted and they resisted and they destroyed their livestock. That means they killed their cattle. Without cattle and without agricultural equipment, it was not possible to do any type of agriculture. Next, those who resisted, they are severely punished, deported and exiled. Remember, Russia is now becoming an autocratic country and Stalin was one of the greatest dictators the world ever had. So those peasantry were trying to oppose the collectivization program and were trying to oppose the Russian government. Those people are generally punished, deported and sometimes they were exiled in the Siberian cold region. But the problem is that the collectivization was a failure because the main objective was to create or was to increase more production, right? But the problem is the collectivization program did not show any type of development in Russia because production did not increase immediately. And the bad harvest led to the devastating famine in the year 1932 and 33. These famine killed more than 4 million people in Russia. Remember students, some of the party members opposed the collectivization program. And you will be surprised to know that Stalin also punished those party members and Stalin blamed these party members as they are not the supporter of the country and they are the betrayer of the country. Therefore, by 1930, you will be surprised to know that by 1939, those people who generally opposed Stalin, the Russian jails and labor camps were full with prisoners. Full with prisoners with the only person because they opposed the Stalin's policy and Stalin's program. Okay, remember students, the collectivization program is very important. This topic is very important for 3 marks and 5 marks question. So please very careful and prepare notes on this topic very carefully. Okay, our next topic, that is the global influence of the Russian Revolution and the USSR. Okay, you can see the communist ideology, or we can say the socialist ideology, became very influential in Russia and in world politics. The idea of Louis Blanc, Robert Owen and Karl Marx became very popular in various countries, in various parts of the world. Russia applied the socialism ideology successfully and the first socialist government was established after the 1917. And after the success of the socialism in Russia, now the socialism ideology was encouraged other countries to adopt this. So therefore, in many countries, the Communist Party was formed. Example, the Communist Party of Great Britain, the Communist Party of India, the Communist Party of China, and so on. An international union of pro-Bolshevik socialist party was formed, that is formation of Comintern, which means all the socialist party, all the socialist government of different parts of the world are becoming the member of an organization which is known as Comintern. So we can say Comintern is the organization of the communist state of different parts of the world. Clear? Next one, that is Russian Revolution redefined democracy and stated that political equality is meaningless without social and economic equality. Obviously, political equality means the voting rights. Okay, if a person is getting a voting right and he is continuously deprived in the society and he is continuously tortured and exploited, and if he does not have any right to have his food or have his survival, so these voting right could not have any meaning. Absolutely, obviously. So the voting, we could not say that voting right is enough or political right is enough. Social equality, that means society should be equal, and economic equality, that is a right to work for every person, is also necessary. And the socialist ideology proposed this idea, that is there is a need of equality in every sector, in every aspect. And next one, that is after the Second World War, the USSR had given socialism a global face and world stature. It is very important. In my next chapter, that is third chapter, I will discuss with you about the Second World War. It was a very interesting topic and interesting chapter. And after the Second World War, all of the European country, they was totally finished, diminished and destroyed by the Second World War because of the harsh effect of the Second World War. So after the World War, only two countries existed in the whole world. First one is America and second one is Soviet Union. So Soviet Union became the face of the socialism and America became the face of the capitalism. And by this, when these two countries came to front each other, in front of each other, then it was created the condition of the Cold War. But remember students, it was not in your syllabus and there is no need to discussion on this topic. So this is it for today. From my next classes, I will provide you question answers, map work and activity. Thank you and have a nice day.